So today I want to talk about location, and what a beautiful place to talk about it. I'm down here in a place called Green Pond. I'll explain that a little bit later. But I suppose what brings me up to talk about this topic, and I think sometimes it's funny to see where you see kind of articles or sometimes commentary comparing prices in one location versus another location. This happens quite a lot, comparing Dublin prices to say somewhere in like Cavan or Limerick or Letterkenny or wherever it is. You see it being compared from a Dublin 2-bed for 500 grand compared to a 5-bed house in Letterkenny or Leitrim for the same price, but you have 10 acres and you have a swimming pool and tennis court or whatever it is. And sometimes you see people comparing prices in Dublin for a 2-bed in Ballsbridge compared to villas or luxury resorts in places like France, Italy, sometimes even Mexico, where they're comparing these 2-bed apartments to luxury villas with beautiful views and in a beautiful location. But a lot of the time what they fail to mention is that in these locations you could be 30 miles away from your nearest shopping centre or your nearest shop or school. The area could have zero employment and your nearest bar might be 10 miles away. And while I'm bringing this up, it's because location is a fundamental key to value of a property. It's the one thing you can't change. You can knock a property down, you can renovate a property, you can extend a property, you can change the use of a property. But the one thing you cannot change about a property is its location. While I get a good laugh out of these comparisons, sometimes I think they're quite funny, and sometimes it's quite good to actually see them to get a reality check on terms of how much prices are in certain areas. But they lack the fundamental kind of basis that location is the key element of determining value for property. There are many things that affect the value of a property, but I think location is one of the key factors. And sometimes it's the location that you're close to an employment base, a school, or just general amenities from retail, restaurants, etc. that actually drive the demand within that area and drive the value for property within that area. And location is quite key to all of that. And I bring that up now because I'm in a place called Green Pond. It's a private lake area. It has about 450 houses, all private on a private community. They all have access to the same facilities. They all have access to this beautiful lake, which is about 2.5 miles long and about 1.5 or about half a mile wide. And while they have a huge kind of amenities here, they have a yacht club, they have a tennis club, they also have pitch and push, they have lots of different things that you can use if you are a member of this private community. But while there's 400 houses in the private community, 450 houses within the private community, there is a huge variance on terms of property prices. They range from anywhere from 400,000 all the way up to 2 million, and it's in a small community. What drives the price difference? They're all generally 4 or 3-bed homes. So what does drive the price difference? It is the location within the small community and what benefits that location has within the small community. There's about 70 or 80 houses on the two shores, the east and the west shore, that have direct access to water. And they, in my mind, would be the most desirable properties within the development. There's about 70 or so on the east shore, and they are the most valuable properties. The properties that are located closest to the main shore where the yacht club is generally achieve the best value, anywhere between 1.5 million up to 2 million, and generally they're bigger as well. The value falls slightly as you go further away from the main shore, but generally speaking, the properties on the west shore are the most expensive, and they're most expensive because of their access to services as well as their access to a road behind. And that road behind allows the people to use the houses all year round, as well as build slightly bigger homes. Compare that to the east shore or the other shore, where houses are much smaller, and generally speaking the way you get access to them is via a path or access via boat. That ultimately means constructing a large house is quite difficult because you have to bring all the material on the lake via a boat, so therefore the size of the houses and what you can build on the other side of the shore are quite different compared to this side of the shore. So location is key within this small microcosm of a lake. They all have the same access to the same services, but even the difference in price value from 400,000 up to 2 million is evident purely based on the location of the plot of land that they have on the lake and how easy it is to build on that plot of land, what other services they have access to on that plot of land, and it makes such a difference. And I bring this up because location is such a fundamental part of whether you're looking to buy for an investment or looking to buy your first home. Location is one of the key factors you need to consider because it has a huge impact on value, and knowing how different values will change within an area based on the location within that area is also fundamental for understanding what a good real estate investment is. As I said, you can change everything about the house. You can knock it down, you can rebuild it, but the one thing you can't change even here on the lake is the location. You can't change the location, and that is why I sometimes find these comparisons between Dublin and Leitrim or Dublin and Cavan kind of a bit ridiculous. They're enjoyable, they're a laugh, but actually in terms of reality they miss the fundamental importance of how important location is to property and property value. Okay, we'll go and have a look at some of these houses now. So on this side of the shore, the properties generally range from about 1.5 up to 2 million when they're close to the country club and the shore. The further you go away from the country club and the main shore, the prices do drop a little bit, but generally speaking, this is where the most valuable properties within the community are located. Some of these are fantastic looking houses, but they have the ability to build bigger houses in these locations because there's a road directly behind the houses, which allows for easier construction compared to the other side of the lake. So this is the main shore where the yacht club is, tennis court is. The majority of houses in the scheme are located behind this. On the other shore, you have a small few houses. They're generally smaller on the lake because construction is a little bit harder because it's only accessed by a small path and water. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please give it a thumbs up if you found it of any use. And as always, make sure you subscribe. And as always, thanks for watching, guys.